Oops, hold on. Hey, where did I go?
Where are you?
Hold on. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
All right, we're here. But John and Mike here on this Monday night, another edition of the Joe Quills Show. And Mike noticed that I did add a couple of things to the background there because, it was looking a little bare, don't you think?
It was good there.
Yeah. I just have to do something for your side.
Yeah.
For the one night a week.
Okay.
Well, first I got to zoom out the camera. I got to play with that a little bit. But since I'm on vacation from my real job at Redacted, I can do that shit this week. So, but thanks to Lucy Rodine, who is or was on the Dan Levitard show. She does the college football stuff, and she goes from game to game every week.
Mhm.
That's where that clip was from this year, because she was covering the Pitt West Virginia game. And when the game is in West Virginia, they sing Sweet Caroline. Instead of saying so good, they say eat shit Pitt. Now, West Virginia does it. It's cute. But let's say Philadelphia does it. We are bad people.
Yeah.
But whatever. But
Here
it is what it is. So, yeah, we got a busy night of sports here, and hopefully I can make it to 1 o'clock in the morning tonight, because your boy was up very early this morning, and doctor said that my eyes were blue. I said, yes.
I think I got
One.
it.
Because I knew you were going. I thought you were going to do this. But you can tell it's going to be that kind of a night tonight. But just to let you guys know, I did have an eye doctor appointment this morning, and I was like, well, 10 o'clock in the morning, they do this and that, and but it's a long night tonight because we have a doubleheader of Monday Night Football. And as soon as I kick Mike out, I'm going to be like this, watching football and the Phillies at the same time, and probably falling the fuck asleep. I'll probably be sitting here like this and going back and forth, and next thing you know, it'll be like 4 o'clock in the morning, which has been done before. And if I'm watching somebody's Twitch stream, well, actually, the one person I will watch doesn't raid to other people, but I've also been on raid. I've been on Twitch channels, and I said this joking around to somebody the one time. I said, I fell asleep near the end of your show. And I said, don't. It's not you. It's me. It's not. It's kind of like dating the psycho chick. It's not you. It's me. But it's not you. It's me. I was dead tired, and next thing you know, I was 3 streams down because I probably got rated to this one and then rated to this one, because that's what you do with Twitch. That's one of the ways you grow people to your show, is doing that stuff. So I ended up, sometimes I do that, and it's like I'm sitting around, and once I get my faculties back together, it's like 2:30 in the morning. I find my phone, like, oh shit. And then I go over here, and then I say, who the fuck is that guy?
Right?
So, and then you see some people, it's like,
they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, I'm the one that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But we got a fun night here, and we're also keeping an eye on the TV, because right now we have Tampa Bay and Houston. It's 14-10 Tampa as their 3, 2, 1 end of the third quarter. And then we have 2 different things to watch, but you're not going to watch the football game, because I know this is you when the football game comes on. And that is because we have baseball action on the left coast, and I picked the perfect week for vacation, even though I'm probably going to be up early all damn week this week, because we have a 10 o'clock game, which is going to be solely on ESPN tonight, so check your local listings for games and times in your area. Michael, welcome in. Hope you're doing well out there. He's watching on the Bleacher Brothers Twitch Facebook page.
Okay, cool.
I'll get it right eventually, sometime. He also watches my horse racing show, Also Eligible. By the way, got some news about that coming up as well that I told you about earlier tonight.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And we may end up with a situation kind of like last year.
Oh,
I'll tell you later.
okay.
Let's just say that you may think Stevie Wonder's calling the phone right. But the Phillies are in LA. The magic number is no, it's not 4.
2 chicks at the same time.
No, it's not 2. But if they win tonight, each guy may have 2 chicks at the same time tonight because the magic number is 1.
Yes, it is.
Because the Mets lost 8 in a row. Phillies went boot to ass with them last week.
Yes, they did.
I mean, some of the games were close, but But I mean, there was a crazy stat this week. Now, Cedric Mullins did get a couple of hits. So, as of the end of the Phillies Mets series, now this may take into account Harrison Bader having some games against Minnesota when he was in some games against the Mets when he was in Minnesota.
Right.
But Harrison Bader went 17 for 27 against the Mets this year. Cedric Mullins, up until last Thursday, since he was traded from Baltimore to the Mets,
Right.
went 16 for 93.
Talk about feast and famine. Jeez.
Well, Cedric Mullins couldn't hit the water if he fell out of a boat. But so we're watching that. Football's also on. We're going to have LA at Vegas for that game. So it is a late night. I imagine that the sports books here on the East Coast will be open. And thankfully, Saturday night, I did not go. The initial plan was take a nap, get up about, probably mid-afternoon, take a nap, go up to the park. So I could, oh, wait, the fight was on Netflix. That's right. So I didn't even have to do that. I could have just popped on Netflix and watched the fight.
Right.
Here, I fell asleep before the fight even started, but Canelo lost to Crawford. So, but we had our Bleacher Brothers did have their conspiracy theories. They said, don't be surprised if this is a draw, so they make it a trilogy fight. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
but I don't know what they do with that. But maybe they give Canelo a rematch because he's the former champion. I don't know, but I'm not that big of a boxing guy. Jalen Jackson is watching as well. He's watching on YouTube, the Bleacher Brothers YouTube. He was watching Also Eligible on Saturday. At least I think that's the Bleacher Brothers one. Yeah, because you know what it is?
All right.
On Saturdays right now, and I may tinker with where I'm streaming shows and all that shit, because I'm streaming on the Bleacher Brothers Twitch, my Twitch,
Okay.
because we got to honor Jim Eisenberg. And we're also on the Bleacher Brothers YouTube.
Cool.
We're on X,
Cool.
not Triple X.
Ah.
Not those types of movies or that action movie.
Gotcha.
Either one of those.
Gotcha.
And we're on the Book of Faces or Space Book or something. Whatever Bill Belichick called it years ago. No, he called it Snap Faces.
Okay.
You can tell it's going to be one of those nights. So we got a lot to talk about here. A lot of football injuries. especially at the quarterback end, and an old friend maybe taking over. I'm sorry, not maybe, is going to be taking over this week. Actually, potentially 2 Eagles legends taking over this week.
Oh, I know one. Okay.
Now, for those that are watching for the first time, and Jalen's first time watching this show, Michael may be hearing this come up, the word legend. Mickey already knows my warped sense of humor. Now, when we talk about Philly legends, it's either extremely one way that they are a legend, or it's extremely in the other direction is sarcasm.
Yes, it is. Yes.
The one definitely is sarcasm.
Okay.
I think the other one may be sarcasm too, but but we'll get to it here. So, interesting day here in Philly, because yesterday was Beat Kansas City Day.
Yes, it was.
And, it wasn't done on purpose or anything like that, because the baseball schedule comes out way ahead of time. I mean, it's almost like about 10 months in advance?
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, it works out well because Kansas City, when you saw the pan shot, you see Arrowhead Stadium. I'll just call it Arrowhead, even though it's GEHA Field. And then behind it is Cotillion Stadium. It's almost the same setup as you have here in Philly, where you have Citizens Bank Park, Lincoln Financial Field, and also the Xfinity Mobile Arena, which we have to get used to calling it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So, and the thing is, even with Temple football being in town on Saturday, and kind of give Temple one of those. Not that we really expect them to show up against Oklahoma, but if you notice, that football game was at 12 noon, and I didn't watch the game because I was helping a buddy out with taking his pool down for the winter, and also helping him with a couple additional things. It's like, what the hell am I out? What the hell am I going to be doing? I'm just going to be sitting here like this watching the races. That fucking horse, that sort of thing all the time. And by the way, we have a horse racing. Actually, we got 3 kind of horse racing stories. One is interesting. The other 2 pertain to Saturday. But so we'll see what comes up here. But I do have to say one thing. I think you agree with me. Cincinnati and Jacksonville are fighting for poverty franchise title. Because if you remember, towards the end of the 23 season, Trevor Lawrence got hurt, whatever type of leg or knee injury it was.
Right.
They had him walk back to the locker room. But Cincinnati may have taken a cake here and taken the crown over Duval. You saw that Liam Cohen thing when he first signed last year, right?
Yeah.
Duval. So Joe Burrow is out for 3 months.
Wow.
Because he's going to undergo toe surgery, according to Zach Taylor. He's going to be sidelined a minimum of 3 months. So all kinds of ramifications on this
No.
Even in the betting world, I'll mention that as well. Hey, Jim Harbaugh. Now, one question I have here before I get to the story. It's got the gloves on and everything.
Right.
How much do you think that he's thinking, all right, Justin Herbert gets hurt, I'm coming back. All right, 0.0. But, yeah. But so he suffered a turf toe injury.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't really get on the turf, but why they call it turf toe, who knows, who cares. But he suffered an injury in the first half against Jacksonville. Images on his left toe were sent to a noted foot specialist, Dr. Robert Anderson, to be reviewed. And there's tearing involved in there as well. So it's more than just whatever you would expect in a normal turf toe case. That's why they're projecting at least 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So Jake Browning will be starting for the foreseeable future.
Jay.
And of course, we had this poverty franchise. Let's see if I can do this here now. Okay. So we had this poverty franchise. I have to pull something up here.
Okay.
I had to pull something up here because it's part of my college football story. And let me pull this up here if it will load, because I know I got too much shit going right now. Don't need X. Oh, man. Yeah, and here's the one thing here. And this isn't what I'm showing you here, but there's 100 million obese people in America, and the Bengals can't find 5 to block for Joe Burrow. But that's not what I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
Shit, where is it? God damn it. Here it is. The Bengals are such a poverty franchise that they didn't even have a cart to bring their injured $275 million quarterback back to the locker room. Now, the question is, did they know exactly what that injury was right away, that it was his toe? Or, but you look at that, you see that video there, it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but you just said it, though. Your $275 million quarterback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take care of him.
Yeah. I mean, how do you do that? Or is this like and it may even be, it's kind of like even like some quarterbacks or just players in general is Baker Mayfield gets a first down and he's talking shit to CJ.
Yeah.
He's telling him I'm going to get the Swifties after your mom again. That's why I consider the Swifties a terror organization, because what they did to his mother. They were putting fake.
That's what. Okay.
So, and of course, people took my comments seriously. It's like, come on, man. Oh, they're not a terror organization. They're not Al Qaeda. They're not this. No, but they're playing fuck around and find out.
Yeah, they are.
But he's going to miss. So Burrow's going to miss 3 months. And what may have been the case here, he might have said, I'm not going out. I'm not leaving on this card. I'm walking off this field. He may have said that for all we know.
That's true. We don't know.
But just like that, but just like what that said there, you know, I think that the trainers said, no, you're hopping on there, even if we have you ride on in the front and not on the back, because you're on the back, we know you're done. But if you're on the front, maybe we can make them think you're coming back, and maybe do a little Willis Reed or whatever, or enter, or well, we can't say Tyrese Halliburton because we saw what he did in Game 7.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. So, but he's had all kinds of injuries in his career. So some of the injuries he had a torn ACL and MCL and missed 6 games in 2020. Probably, obviously, the final 6. Dislocated pinky finger in 21. An MCL sprain in Super Bowl 56. Played through a calf injury in 23. A wrist injury in 23 where he missed the final 7 games.
Right.
And he now has turf toe.
Jeez.
So, and here's the thing. He got through the preseason for the first time. He got through training camp. He got through the preseason. He got through all that. I mean, we were going to give him a round of applause. And also, I had Jacksonville plus 3.5 yesterday.
Yeah.
The one time I'm rooting for a missed extra point. Or go for 2!
Right.
So no surgery date has been determined yet. Timeline for the next step in his process, healing process, will begin in a couple of days. There's not much we can do right now for Joe, blah, blah, blah. But there was an interesting quote here. And this is your typical NFL coach speak.
Okay.
We're always evaluating how we can protect our players and put them in the best position possible. I take accountability for that. If people want to blame me for putting them in a position, I'm fine taking that. I gotta do a better job out there.
That was Andy Reid. Yeah.
Well, we know what Donald Trump thinks of Zach Taylor, right?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
So, so Taylor stood behind the team's offensive line after a game in which Burrow was pressured 5 times on it of his 13 dropbacks, and Zach Taylor got sacked too.
Oh, okay.
But if you're a gambling fool, which I am, but not much money at the moment. The Bengals Super Bowl odds moved from 20-1 to 75-1.
I can see that.
And Cincinnati went from -155 to make the playoffs, which means you bet 155 to win 100.
Right.
To plus 210 to reach the postseason on ESPN Bet.
Exactly. Not gonna happen, kids. Not gonna happen.
So, Dick Browning will take over. He started the final 7 games of 2023. And here's the interesting thing. He's the only quarterback on the active roster right now.
They need to sign somebody quick.
Well, they do have Brett Rippon on the practice squad,
Mm-hmm.
but still.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sign somebody.
Yep.
Or scour the practice squads. Even the practice squads, because the practice squads you can even, I think, I don't know exactly how, because everything changed since COVID.
Right.
Because there's now more spots on the practice squad. And I think every week you can protect X amount of players on the practice squad. I think. Just things that come to me real fast at the last minute. I'm like, oh yeah, well, let me make sure I say something that kind of looks right. So, I mean, what do you think, King? Cincinnati done?
Stick a fork.
That's not a fork. That's a pen.
Stick a pin. Eek, 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 eek.
And also injured in last night's game was J.J. McCarthy.
Jeez.
He suffered a high ankle sprain and will be out 2 to 4 weeks.
I feel for that kid. After being out last year too. Yeah.
Well, you know who's going to be taking over
Who?
for Minnesota?
I thought I did.
I told you before the show.
God damn. Hold on. Wait a minute. One of the Eagles legends, right?
He's an Eagles legend.
More. I
mean, but
I know. Double M.
What?
Double M.
No.
What? Oh, he's taking over for another team. I'm understanding that.
Now he was trending towards the actual legend thing, but he ended up going towards sarcasm after he came back from injury.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. Not Carson. Oh.
And you know what?
What?
Let me see something here. Hopefully it's a 5-week injury.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh, by the way, Eagles play at Minnesota week 7.
Oh my, George Takai says. Okay.
Oh, damn it, I don't have that in here yet. Because I do have a George Takai drop.
Okay.
Oh my, oh my.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have J.J. McCarthy out 2 to 4 weeks, and they don't believe that McCarthy needs to be placed on their short-term injury reserve. Because, short-term, you basically sit out 4 weeks.
Right.
So Carson Wentz will take over. And guess what? Cincinnati plays Minnesota this week.
Oh, boy. Yes. It's a battle of the backups. Let's get it on.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Let's get ready to fumble.
Yeah. So, and also, I mean, this is a game that I'm probably going to stay away this week.
Okay.
But right now, I would lean towards Cincinnati. Not because of Carson Wentz, but the Vikings are likely to be without Aaron Jones, not Ron Jones. Aaron Jones.
Oh, really?
Who has a hamstring injury.
Oh, man.
And they're monitoring the status of a half a dozen other veterans who've been injured early on this year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but they still got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And, Carson Wentz will have some weapons.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what he does with that. But
so we said $10 on Cincinnati to win. Okay.
Well, I know what you're going to do at Delaware Park on Thursday once I.
You are reading my mind.
Yeah. Which one is that on? Haha, it's on mine, fucker. You are gone.
Got him.
A typical shit on mine. Which means that Bleacher Brothers is not far behind.
Gotcha.
So Carson Wentz will be taking over. But the thing is, J.J. McCarthy's only thrown 41 passes
Mm-hmm.
and played only 95 snaps in his 2 starts. He has the second lowest QBR in the league. Now, that's something different from the quarterback rating. This is something that I think ESPN does. This is based on 1 to 100.
Okay.
20.1.
What the heck?
And the injury will further push back his development. Well, also having Carson Wentz all. Oh, sorry. So, so the injury occurred late in the third quarter of the 22-6 loss to Atlanta. On a 2nd and 20, McCarthy scrambled for 16 yards down the left sideline before he was tackled from behind by Falcons linebacker Caden Ellis. And the thing is, the blue tent was occupied at the time.
Yeah.
I hear that the one player that was in there.
I have a basket of diarrhea.
Just wait till I load more shit on here.
Right.
So they taped up his ankle. I think probably what they would do is they would evaluate. Let's just put more tape on it. Fuck it, yeah. But no. By the way, if you had Tyler Algier first touchdown and last touchdown, congratulations, because he scored the only touchdown in the game.
Jeez.
So he counts his first touchdown.
That's right.
He counts his last touchdown. Whereas we were getting to the point like, no touchdown? And that's usually 50, 60, 5,000, 6,000 minimum. But of course, O'Connell said that had some good things to say about Carson Wentz because he took the first team snaps on Thursday because McCarthy's kid was born on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing. I think what's going to happen, and maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't, you kind of plan, if you're planning to have kids, this probably was an accident or whatever, and you hold it against the kid later on in life. It's like, you were in an accident. You were in an accident. Shut up. But O'Connell said about Wentz, he was really impressive last week, taking first-team reps. Kind of stepping in, he felt better presence in his command. He's really smart, a guy that played a lot of football. He's been able to get himself to a place where he's felt very comfortable these past 2 weeks. Had he needed to go into the football game, and now he's got a week of preparation to get ready to play. But the thing is, there's a reason why he's played for his 6th team in 6 years.
Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is.
And how they got into this situation, the Vikings, they had Sam Howell as the backup. If you remember, Sam Howell got traded to the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
Because Tanner McKee had an injury to his hand or whatever.
I remember that, yeah.
So they traded Howell to the Eagles. He reached out to Wentz. He has experience in similar offensive schemes, having worked as backup for Sean McVay a couple years ago. He took first-team reps on Thursday. So you're looking at Carson Wentz taking over, and this is what I have to say about Minnesota for the next 4 weeks. And we hope it's 5. because the
Exactly.
Eagles are the 5th game or 5 games from now.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that'll mean Eagles win because I had that penciled in as a loss early on.
If it change that up now, that's for sure.
And, well, it doesn't matter. In the end, when the Eagles go 12-5
Right?
and they have the number 1 seed, you're not going to give a shit where those 5 losses are you?
No, not even close.
You're going to say, "Wow, he was right, 12-5."
Yep.
And then there was an injury last Thursday. Well, there was the injury to Austin Eckler, who blew out his Achilles,
I heard about that. Yeah.
which actually helps me on one of my fantasy teams because I have the rookie, whatever hyphenated last name he has, but also Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a left knee injury last Thursday.
Ouch.
His status against the Raiders is in doubt, according to Dan Quinn. He didn't specify the injury to the knee, but they did say it was a sprain.
Okay.
He injured his knee. He had a large ice pack on his knee after the game and walked with a limp out of the building. A day later, he underwent an MRI. No major damage. So what happened was the first play of the 4th quarter, Micah Parsons chased Daniels to the left. As Daniels cut, safety Javon Bullard hit him on his left knee with his helmet. And another Eagles legend could potentially be getting the start in Washington.
That would be Mr. Mariota.
Yep, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
So Mariota played in 2 games last year. Well, there was 2 games that Daniels left early because of injury. Week 7 was a rib injury. He didn't play the second half of the regular season finale against Dallas because of mild leg soreness. Mariota went 33 of 41 for 366. Dan Quinn said, "We're going to take it all the way to Friday before making a decision," which, in a way, kind of helps. But, even though you're facing the Raiders and Pete Carroll, who's 75 and runs around like he's 25.
He sure does.
But Washington has a ton of injuries. I mentioned Austin Eckler. Dietrich Wise is out for the year with a quad injury. A couple of players got groin injuries, and But the thing is, last year they only had one starter that missed as many as 9 games. But last year they went 12-5, and one of the things that really helped them was their health last year.
Yeah.
Because one quarterback injury, one star injury, or
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be a quarterback, and next thing you know, your whole season goes sideways. So.
And see, Mariota is also going to have to fit into that offense. So I don't know how much he will be able to pick up.
Well, he was there last year, so
Well,
you should know enough of the offense by now.
Let's hope so.
In a way, let's hope not.
Well, that's true too.
You can tell we're Philly sports fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Last Monday night, Detroit and Baltimore. Detroit put another 50 burger on the board.
Yeah, they did. 50 burger.
It's nice that you score 50-plus points in the regular season, but I kind of remember a team putting up 55 in the playoffs.
Yeah. One of the team that was. I don't know who that was. You remember that team?
No, I don't.
It'll come to us.
I think it was the reason why I came home from Florida early that Sunday.
Yes, there was. Yes.
I hate those 5, 6, 7 a.m. flights.
That one was worth it though.
And then I'm waiting outside for my Uber to go to the airport. And then there was this big ass raccoon or something
He wanted to say goodbye to you.
walking across the parking lot. I'm like, I'm going back in. I mean, I think the saying is raccoon by day, stay away, raccoon at night, everything's all right,
Oh, okay. So you stayed away.
I think.
Okay.
But so we do have that. I need to see one thing here. I need to pull up let me do this. There we go. I need to see what I was planning on talking about here because, I put the notes on there and I put plan for tonight because we never go according to plan. That's all part of my ADD, ADHD, and whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, so we got that going. So now I know exactly what I typed. Because, I just start typing, next thing you know. So the Eagles won a tight one.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part was Chris Jones was still talking shit.
Yes, he was.
And I think I got that on here as well. Oops. It's not there. But, and the thing is, yesterday was beat Kansas City Day.
Yeah, it was.
And the thing is, we never have good things in Philly. We never have both teams winning against the other city. And the Phillies game ended up early enough where you could bet the person's house that you hate the most. Like, I'm not betting my house. I'm going to bet that neighbor's house, that neighbor that I don't like. I'm putting her house up for the wager.
Right.
And by the way, you can use that FanDuel promo there. You can scan that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can scan on that, and once you fill that out, it's buy $5 wager, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in free wagers.
Oh. And
also, you can then use it in horse racing and take advantage of the $500 first wager money back.
Ooh. Is that FanDuel? When you scan QR code, does that go straight to
go straight to
Bleachers?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And even if you go to the Bleacher Brothers website, bleacherbrothers.com, you can click on any ad that's there is there for a reason. So just let you know with that as well.
Okay.
Like there's Fubo there and everything else. But Phillies lost. If I have money, extra money, because I'm saving it for Thursday, definitely Saturday, and potentially Friday as well.
Yeah.
Because I might have to take a ride up the parks on Friday as well.
Mm.
Because I lost to Dave Weaver in fantasy in week 1, I believe. Let me go here. And this is what happens when you have 3 ESPN teams, and they're all named Fly, Quills, Fly. Where's that here? Hold on. Yeah, I lost the Ice Cold Exacta, which is his little fun thing he does on TVG.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Ice Cold Exacta.
Okay.
Well, he beat me pretty good last week.
So you're in second place or third place?
Dead last, 0-1.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a 6-way tie for last.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But anyways,
Okay.
so I might have to take a ride up there because I think Friday won't be as busy as Saturday.
Probably not.
Yeah, and you know, but Eagles did win, and if I can find what exactly he said, meaning Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts said. I shared it somewhere. It's basically shut your ass up, we won. Shut your fucking ass up, we won.
It was on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was an Insta story that ended up. And also, of course, Dean Blandino is getting sick of the tush push. Now, I didn't pay attention to broadcasters, even though I should for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Fox Sports analyst Dean Blandino also seemed to be over trying to break down the effective tush-push play. As late in the game, he had a frustrated take on it after it looked like Hurts may have fumbled the ball in one of the plays that helped ice the game. So I think he was doing the third down play that led to the first down. Remember, they said it was a fumble.
Yeah.
Kansas City was saying it was a fumble, but it wasn't.
Right.
And also there was the one play which was a touchdown, but they didn't call it because, we can't see the ball there in the crowd. Well, guess what? Because apparently the way Kansas City was playing the tush push, everybody was playing the middle, and Jalen Hurts kept going to the left.
I saw it. Yep.
So I'm still waiting for them to go tush push, and they fake, and they go deep with the tight end. Or
I
maybe
thought they did that at one time.
I think they did a couple of handoffs,
Right.
a couple of pitches, but not like a go pattern.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I've seen it in college a couple of times on YouTube. But Blandino said, "I'm done with the tush push, guys. It's a hard play to officiate, like we've been talking about. So they either ruled progress or that Hurts was down. Really hard to see what's happening with the football. We're inside of 2 minutes. A replay has looked at this. They've determined there was no fumble." Well, basically, just like in baseball, or actually any sport that has, you have to have conclusive evidence.
That's true.
But when you got 16 of the 22 bodies within 3 inches of each other,
Right.
how are you going to tell it's a fumble unless the ball dribbles about 5 yards downfield?
You can't.
You can't tell. But the thing is, and some people were saying this yesterday, they were saying, the Eagles are jumping offside. Yeah, but they weren't calling it.
Nope.
But also, the final tush-push play, and I don't know if this video where Dean Blandino was saying he's done with the tush-push, it's hard to officiate. Let me see here. No, it's not showing it, but no, they're not. Yeah. So one thing I noticed on the final tush push play, one of the Chiefs defensive linemen took a swing at the ball when they're trying to snap it.
Yeah.
I think that's a penalty, isn't it?
Should be.
But I don't know if it is or not. And this is.
You believe it? You believe it?
Well, I didn't pick a side against. I don't care. But at least the game's going to be done just in time for the Titans.
That's right.
Who cares about that second football game? At least not right now.
No, not right now.
Once I kick you out, I can watch both at the same time.
Gotcha.
But again, no. So I mean, it's a legal play, and but according to this article on SI.com, which I shared, so fans are upset that Eagles got away with some false starts. Yeah. But it's not a false start unless you call it.
That's true.
It's kind of like breaking the law. You're not breaking the law unless you're caught doing it, if you think about it. But and of course, somebody was saying on Facebook the last two Mondays after last two day after an Eagles win. Oh, the center is over the ball, which means he's offside. I think, and if somebody wants to correct me on this, feel free to do so, but I'm probably going to have to look it up online or make it sound like I really care about it. But I think the center is allowed to be over the center, just his head is allowed to be over the ball because he's the one initiating the snap.
I can see that.
I think.
Holding gets on the toes, but I can see that.
Yeah, so. But Baker Mayfield does it again, apparently. So. But, the thing is, there was one game, it might have been, I don't know if it was a game that I was watching through Red Zone or something else. Or I think it was a Sunday night game because I was watching somebody stream. I was watching Action Labs last night. And the one thing I said was the only difference between one of the teams on Sunday or during the Eagles game, the only difference is you don't have the guys in the backfield to push if they need to.
Right.
I think I don't remember what team it was on last night. But one of them did a quarterback sneak, but without the running back. I said there's no real difference. It's just they have a little bit of extra. But because the Eagles are so good at this, they have an opportunity to, if you know something's going to work 99 times out of 100, are you going to try to do it 100 times to get that 99 out of 100 success rate?
Why not?
I mean, you have to do it.
But here's the other thing that you and I talked about time and time again. If the league doesn't like it, stop it.
Yeah, that's what
Until then, we're going to keep on doing it. It's the same thing like we said in all sports. If you're doing something, usually the team will find out or figure out how to stop it. Now stop it. Like the year that Chip Kelly was doing the 2-minute offense. What happened? That was it. The fifth or sixth or seventh game. The league found out about it. What did they do? Shut the Eagles down. If something you don't like, then stop it. Otherwise, leave us alone. Go home. Sit down.
Well, by the way, Chip Kelly's at Ohio State now.
Yeah, he is.
And he's not running the.
No, he's not. No.
Because he doesn't have to.
Yeah, well, he really doesn't have to. No.
I'm looking for one of my remotes here. Do you have a remote over there that has like blue buttons on it? Because I don't know
no,
what
I do not.
Oh, you know, it's on my work desk here.
Okay.
Because we are in the process of changing over from pro football to the Fightins. And this is a preview of a potential division series matchup.
Yes, it is.
And there we go. And I think Tom McCarthy made it to LA before the Phillies did.
Okay.
Because the Phillies didn't get out of town last night until like 11:50.
Oh, yeah.
They landed in Burbank at around 2 in the morning, Pacific time.
5 o'clock here. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, you said it perfectly. Stop it or run it on your end. But, when you got a team that knows how to run it, there's, I mean, it's kind of like let's look at the Phillies bullpen right now. Even though you have a couple of guys there that are shaky there.
Right.
Well, because you have Duran in the game as the closer and going to be the closer for at least 2 more years after this.
Right.
So you get a strong 8th inning guy. You get a strong 7th inning guy. You get a strong middle reliever where if you go 5 innings, you're shortening the game down.
Yes, you are.
And that's what the Yankees did a couple of those years because they had Wetland and Mariano Rivera. They had Mario Rivera and whoever else was in front of him.
Right.
You turn it to where the starting pitchers may only have to pitch 5 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, you may have them pitch 6 or 7, and then you may be able to skip over a certain guy because guess what? He'll get that extra day of rest now.
Yeah.
But
we had that too in 2008. You know,
Yeah,
7, 8 innings. What happens? You brought in
Romero and
Max. Was it Maxie?
Matson the 8th.
And then you brought in Lidge. Shut everything down. That's it. We have a shutdown closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some way was pissed because Thursday night's game, I saw it on, I think it was on X. Oh, they didn't show Duran's entrance? No, it's not local TV. It's Fox, you fucking dope. But the thing is, ESPN showed it. Apple TV showed it. It's like they don't have to show it. And the one time that they said, "Oh, we're going to show the entrance," the first time after he came in for the, it's like, well, we're going to break our rules here. We're not going to go to commercial for the 9th inning. That's when he had the blood save.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But that was because he faced Washington like 5 times in 6 games.
And they figured him out a little bit. Yeah. We had talked about that.
Yeah. So, just picking a couple of different things here. So yeah, you have to figure out a way to stop it.
Yeah. Until you do, Go Birds.
But in the Eagles' case, a 1st and 10, you only need to get 8.5 yards, because guess what? You know you're going to get that 1.5 yards.
You know how nice that is for offense. Instead of 1st and 10, it's always 1st and 8.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. And you get towards the goal line, you know what you're going. I mean, and they still can't stop. And Jalen Hurts, he was going to the left the whole game because everybody was in the middle. It's like, we go to the left.
Right.
So.
And they still haven't used Barkley out in that to push, have they? I mean, to go out to get that 1 yard.
No, I don't think they've used it at all because they have Hurts.
Talk about an embarrassment of riches.
I know. I know.
And what are we doing here, Joe? We are loving it.
Yeah.
We are loving it.
Yeah. So, but the Phillies are on. Eagles won 2017. Chiefs in trouble?
No.
Because they do have a ton of injuries right now.
They do, but they have Andy Reid. They're going to bounce back. They'll make the playoffs. I'm not concerned about it right now.
Let me see something here.
I'll tell you one thing. If they have a losing record after their 5th or 6th game, then they're in trouble.
Are they in trouble if they lose to the Giants next week?
They're in humongous trouble if they lose to the Giants. I'm expecting the Giants to get beat down.
Because, I mean, I'm expecting Kansas City to beat down the Giants.
Yeah.
Then they got to play Baltimore. Possibly.
Yeah.
Then they play Jacksonville, which isn't a gimme anymore.
No, that will be a W. They'll win that one.
But it's not a gimme.
No.
Then they play Detroit.
In Detroit?
In Kansas City.
They'll win that one.
Then they play Vegas. The Raiders always seem to play tough in Kansas City.
And that's a toss-up or pick-em game because I'm not sure about that.
Washington, toss-up.
Toss-up, yeah.
And then they end the first half with Buffalo.
L.
So they could be in some trouble here.
It could be.
But then again, somebody did have the Chiefs starting off 0-2 this year.
Very good.
But it was because of the Eagles, not because it was just like, I guess they lose to the Chargers, but
Well, we know they're going to lose to the Eagles. We will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So try number 2 to clinch a division is just about to start. Would have been nice to win at home, but I think also the reason why the flight was delayed a little bit, but I think it was delayed a little bit and then other problems picked up because they said it was air traffic or whatever they were saying. But part of the reason why was the Phillies got done so quick and Texas and the Mets went 10 innings.
Oh, okay.
Because the Mets were on MLB Network.
Right.
So because I screwed up the TV remote the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those that are wondering, they changed the starter tonight.
I thought it was going to be Bandit.
I thought it was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But I did something with this remote and it unpaired from the TV. So I couldn't do anything like this where I could maybe even change the... So I ended up watching through the Xfinity app on that TV, like we are now at the Phillies.
Right.
And then I had Red Zone on the other TV. And then for the second half, I sat in the chair behind me,
Right.
which I'm blocking. There we go. So now Master Bader is leading off. So I think what they did was whoever they had planned to start for the Dodgers, and we're going to get to some of this other stuff because we're kind of going off on tangents because Mike's used to me and my ADD. I think what they did was they used an opener tonight and have him pitch an inning or two, and the guy that was listed that I saw earlier in the day, he'll probably take over in the second or third inning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is probably because of Schwarber more than anything. Schwarber and Harper.
Yeah, Harper, yeah.
So I think that's the reason why. And by the way, Schwarber hit number 52 last night.
Yes,
or yesterday
he did.
afternoon.
Yep. First inning.
And there is a crazy stat that I saw, and I still have my Insta stories up here. And oh, by the way, going back to the Eagles real quick, there are 2 quarterbacks which have beaten Patrick Mahomes 3 times in a row.
Well, we know it's Jalen. That's one.
Jalen made it 3 in a row.
Yeah. It's not Josh Allen.
No.
It's Joe Cool Burrows?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Cool?
Joe Burrow.
Whoa.
I think
Okay.
one of them was the AFC Championship game.
Right.
Little fun fact here, since Kyle Schwarber's up right now. No MLB hitter has ever hit 50 home runs while batting under 260.
Wow.
Cal Raleigh has actually. I think this was before. This was posted before. Before Cal Raleigh hit his 54th home run. At least I think he has 54. He might even have 55 because I think Seattle's playing. You can tell how much I'm worried about the other games around it. So, according to Codified Baseball on X, no MLB hitter has ever hit 50 home runs while batting under 260.
Pitch timer.
Cal Raleigh, he now has 54, but at the time that they posted this, he has 53 home runs and is batting 240. Kyle Schwarber has 50 home runs and is batting 240.
That's amazing.
Kyle Schwarber has 52 home runs right now and is hitting 244. And there's 53. And you know what Schwarber said, right?
Okay.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Wow. Kyle.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? He one-handed that out.
Yes, he did.
But I was mentioning Mike Abadir to you got before the show. We've been texting a lot this week, and he told me, I mean, he's a Red Sox fan, but he lives out there in LA.
Okay.
He said that Dodgers pitching isn't as good as it was last year. I said the one thing is, the one reason why I'm afraid of the Dodgers, I'm afraid that they're just going to flip the switch and turn on the playoffs.
Yep.
He said, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But so Phillies are up 1-0 right now, early in the first inning. So Raleigh and Schwarber have over 50 home runs. They're both hitting under 250. Not even under 260. I think they're under 250. So that gives you an idea of. But Kyle Schwarber does walk a lot.
He has over 100 walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks a lot. So that'll affect your as far as your average is concerned.
The on base percentage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we kind of talked about the Eagles here, the injury bug. And let me find this here. You know what this week is?
What?
Do you know what this week is?
No.
You don't know what this week is?
What's this week?
I was expecting you to say, "Oh, it's your birthday this week."
Is that what that is? They
I
took him out already.
yeah, so they use him. That's probably the guy that they were using.
They were going to use. Got it.
So,
because you said because of Schwarber and Harper.
Yeah. So what I was expecting you to say, even though it would have been wrong, not the answer I was expecting.
Right.
The one thing I was expecting you to say was, you know what this week is? I was expecting you to say your birthday. I'm like, well, that's not it, but yeah, that's true.
Is this week your birthday?
Yeah. You know that. I know you're playing around because we have plans for Thursday. But we also have, ladies and gentlemen, the Cotillion and the Pennsylvania Derby. And the Cotillion will be race 13 of 15 races. So we have a field of 8 here, and we got a nice field here. We got LaCara, who's a Grade 1 winner. Good Cheer, who won the first 7 races of her career, ended up losing to Nitrogen. Nitrogen's going to be running potentially against potentially Torpedo Anna next month at Keeneland, and then they'll rematch at Delmar. Good Cheer. And Scottish Lassie is the favorite. I think she was the one that won the Alabama. Wait, what race? What race? Wait, do I have it on here? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What race?
Alabama.
I knew that would come in handy for something other than football. So I got a field of 8 going in that day there, and I'm kind of hoping Mark Cassie is there Saturday, because not only do I get to say hi to Dave Weaver, and also Jason Beam's going to be there. I already contacted him and said, hey, hope to see you up there Saturday, because he's in this 3-month period where so hopefully I can hang out with him for a little bit. But so got 8 in the Cotillion. Pennsylvania Derby, field of 10. And Baeza is the 2-1 favorite. He finished second. He finished third in the Derby.
Right.
He finished third in the Belmont.
Right.
To Sovereignty and Journalism. So he'll be in that race. Gosger, who almost stole the Preakness, he's at 4-1. He's the 3rd choice. Pork Chop is here. Welcome in.
Hey, Pork Chop.
Whoops. How's if I keep that on a little longer? It isn't like it's the scammer that I got rid of. But goal oriented, that is Bob Baffert's horse. That was the horse that tried to block Journalism in the Preakness.
Oh wow, okay.
Magnitude, that was the horse that won the race in Louisiana, the Risen Star. 45-1. Ran like he was 1-9 and ran everybody off their feet. Ended up getting hurt. Came back, won the Iowa Derby. One of those races I picked the winner on. He was a heavy favorite, and then the race after I picked a 14-1 shot. Then Big Truz won I think he won the Indiana Derby. Bowplex, and you got 8 horses in this race, and you have 6 that have a chance. 8 that have a chance,
That's true.
or maybe 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all have shots in this race.
Yeah.
Out the belly, 50 to 1 shot. If he's not 99 to 1 at post time, there's something seriously wrong with the bettors. But then again, you have so much money going into the pools. So that is race number 14. There is 15 races on the card. The 15th race goes off at around 6:30.
Okay.
And the one thing that my good friend Jessica Pocket found out last year is we do not have lights at parks. Well, let me rephrase that. We have light coming from the grandstand hitting the home stretch. But when you're on the back stretch, it's every man, woman, and child for themselves. I mean, you could be sitting there, and the next thing you know,
Wow.
jockey's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Sheehan was supposed to be the starter.
Okay.
So technically he is a starter, but he's coming in relief because they wanted to. So got 15 races on the card. First race, 11:05. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to be talking about on Saturday. And we may be starting early. So just go to Joe Quills on X. I'll let you guys know by middle week. Actually, I'll let you know by Thursday if we get back at a half decent hour from our excursion down. There's something going on. Wait. No. Well, there's a concert at Citizens Bank Park that's Friday.
Oh, Friday? Okay.
Yeah. So, so they do have 15 races. I'm going to be looking through let me just see something here, see if they posted, mine going a million miles an hour right now. No, they didn't post it. They like to sandbag on the daily racing form site, but guarantee is Saturday, the race that'll be the feature race will be the Pennsylvania Derby. Who knows what they'll do on Friday, but they got 11 races on Friday, 15 on Saturday, which probably means they'll have 4 on Monday.
Right.
Because, they're not using the turf course this year.
Right.
Actually, I don't think they did any work on it.
Hmm.
But 15 races and long-ass day. And Mike's saying, thank God I'm not going. But, and these horses will be going, some of them at least, will be going to the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar. And we can go back to this. And do you know that Terry Bradshaw is in the horse racing business?
TV?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Now, some people think he's a horse's ass, but but he's a co-owner of Taken by the Wind, who won the first Road to Kentucky Oaks race.
Wow. Okay.
Called the Pocahontas Stakes.
Cool.
So they're leading the very early standings for the Kentucky Oaks with 10 points. So, so she's in the lead for the Kentucky Oaks, which will be the Friday, the day before the Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, by the way, this year's Kentucky Oaks is in prime time.
Is it? Nice. That Friday before the Derby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So we do have that. So this win may set Taken by the Wind as a potential start for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Phillies on Halloween at Del Mar. Terry Bradshaw said, I'm on cloud 9 and cloud 8 and cloud 7 and cloud 10.
I'm happy for him.
All right. Seriously. I'm on cloud 9. His Phillies trained by Ken McPeak, who won the Derby last year with Mystic Dan.
Okay.
He won the Oaks with Torpedo Anna.
Right.
So, and also Kenny McPeak won the Cotillion last year with Torpedo Anna.
Oh, okay.
So, so Terry Bradshaw owned Mission Impassable, who finished 9th in the 2010 Derby
Mhm.
and earned over $1.2 million in his career. So the Hall of Famer said, I'm really into the breeding side of things. I've had a couple that I breed and sold. So primarily he likes to buy fillies so he can breed them and not studs, because if I got a good filly, I can breed her after racing, because but if you don't win the big 3 Triple Crown races or grade is with a stud, then the value is hard to come by. So there's a whole MO to that he has. And I told you before, AJ owns pieces of 5 different horses.
Yeah, you did.
But if I got in on that,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to give me a piece of the anus, right? You know that, right?
I kind of guess that, yeah.
Because you know what they're saying about me, right?
He's an asshole.
But so let me see here. Let me just look over my list here. Phillies, we kind of talked about. And the Phillies, oh, by the way, are in the playoffs. You know that, right?
Yes.
That is because the Dodgers helped the Phillies out by defeating San Fran.
Thank you, Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Eagles, we got that. The injury bug, Terry Bradshaw. We talked about the Derby as well. Oh, by the way, did you see that? I think this is the case. The first 2 college football coaches were told to get out.
You told me about that earlier before the show.
Mm-hmm. Virginia Tech fired Coach Brent Pry on Sunday, a day after losing 45-26 at home to Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Now, Old Dominion has only had their program for a few years.
I'm about to say, I know they're Division 3, aren't they?
No, they're D1.
They're D1?
They're FBS.
Oh, okay.
But they've been in FBS a few years longer than Delaware.
Right.
Because Delaware, this is their first year.
Right.
Yes, I did. I mentioned it off the show. Pork Chop is a huge soccer guy. He's a Portland Timbers fan. You might have mentioned it already. Tough weekend for the Union.
Yeah, you did.
Let me show you something, Pork Chop. Let me pull this up here. Because on Thursday night, I gave out my picks for the weekend. No, I didn't want that. Hold on. Let's see. Last Thursday, I gave out Vancouver.
Yes, you did.
Plus 110. I was a winner on the Philly fade.
Oh.
So I was so in tune on. I mean, I bet soccer, but it's mostly the Philadelphia Union because the English Premier League isn't as readily available on regular TV on Saturdays like it used to, because we used to have NBC Sports Network.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just USA. It's like, put all the sports on USA now. But I told Mike on Monday, Pork Chop, as he was leaving, I might even mention on Monday's show even. I said the Union have to go cross country to play Vancouver. Then on the way home, they got to stop in Nashville to play tomorrow night in the U.S. Open Cup semifinals. I said they're going to give that game away because they were up 5 in the division, in the conference at the time. So I told Mike, if I had money, I'm playing Vancouver. And they decided to put a touchdown up on the Union, winning 7-0. So, yeah. So, I don't know everything about soccer. Most people say I don't know a lot about much. Well, I'll argue that, well, you should have read my article on Tuesday when I gave you a horse that paid $18.50 to win in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Here it is, soccer. So let's look at the tables for MLS. Union are still up 2 on Cincinnati.
Okay.
But they have a couple of home games coming up. So,
Okay.
and San Diego's 1 point behind them for the Supporter Shield, which is the equivalent of the President's Trophy in hockey, where the top team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you're top team in the league in the regular season, you win the playoffs, you win, I think if you win either conference you get in, or you win the U.S. Open Cup, you get invited to the CONCACAF Champions League. And that's like the top teams from each league in North America and Caribbean. And if you win that tourney, you get to play in the Club World Cup, which was in the United States last year. So, well, they did Portland a favor. We're not the biggest fan. Yeah, because you're in the Pacific Northwest, you have that 3-way. I mean, that 3-way is almost as good as
2 chicks at the same time.
Mike's like, oh, Jesus Christ, no. So, but going back to the football, Brent Pry got fired. They started off 0-3. They're 16-24. Was that the Union that won 4-1 first week? I think that's the case here.
Okay. Vancouver. Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because I think they. I don't think Philly played Portland this year. No. Yeah, because there's so many teams. Yeah. But, they try to keep them within the conference, but occasionally you play East versus West. I think what MLS should do, because you have 30 teams. No, don't worry about it. You're bringing additional topics to the table, which I like. The one thing is, if you think about it, even if they wanted to do so, even though they have the MLS development, they have a developmental league as well. What they could do if they really wanted to, they can bring in promotion and relegation before the USL, United Soccer League, which is a second level. I think they're trying to get to the same level as MLS, but they're also trying to bring in promotion and relegation. Since you have 30 teams in the league, why not have 15 teams in the main MLS, and then you have 15 in the lower, and then the bottom couple of teams, you go to 2, a couple of teams that are in 2, the top 2 or 3 teams or however many you want to do. Okay, well, you're now in the main group, even though you may play each other in the regular season, but, I don't know, just me.
It's something to think about. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like I always say, I want to see promotion relegation in baseball because that's what will stop tanking in sports.
Yes, it
And
will.
baseball has the most leagues, even though it's all under a farm system. But so the hot seat talk bubbled around Pride last November, but the Hokies, if the Hokies had lost to Virginia last season, they would have been gone. He would have been gone. But Virginia Tech won that final game, and the next thing you know, they end up in a bowl game. Yeah, yeah. So the only thing, if you do MLS 1, MLS 2 lowers, and there's also there's actually an MLS 2 because the Philadelphia Union does have a second team. I know St. Louis does. These teams do. And what they do is the younger players and players that don't necessarily play.
Mhm.
Think of it like a JV team in a way in high school. If you don't play on the varsity team for football, for example, you will play in the JV game. Or if you have a major blowout, all the JV kids get to play the second half. It's like, oh, we're not going to play the JV game on Monday because we played them in this game. That sort of thing. But yeah, so yeah, the lower leagues don't have an infrastructure supported but the USL is trying to do it. From what I had seen, but then again, things can change so fast. You never know.
That's true.
But you can. It could happen, and maybe eventually USL and MLS they come together and say, well, so, but but what usually happens when a head coach or manager gets fired in sports? Their assistant coaches get fired.
Yeah.
Well, Pry had some of his personnel got fired, but he stayed on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't help this year because they lost to South Carolina in a close game, and they got pushed around by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a little better, but they got that quarterback which helps them out, and they got embarrassed, and that's how they got fired. But they have a chance to win this week. They'll host FCS school Wofford this weekend before opening ACC play the following week at NC State. Now, I'm going to show you something here. I saw this on Facebook, and you might have actually... No, you did not see this.
Okay.
At least I don't think you did. Deshaun Foster was fired by UCLA.
No, I didn't see it.
Well, he had a $5 million payout, a buyout clause, which UCLA is going to pay, which they have to pay anyway because he didn't get fired with cause.
Right.
Like, for example, like Bobby Petrino was misleading in an investigation because he got into a motorcycle accident when he was with Arkansas, and he was with the secretary who was his sex secretary. Well, they lost to New Mexico. So technically, it cost them $6.2 million to fire him because they brought in New Mexico from the Mountain West.
Right.
And you see this from time to time where a team from one of the group of 5 schools, they collect a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
They blew out UCLA 35-10, pocketed $1.2 million, and they ended the coaching tenure of Deshaun Foster.
All right. Okay. New Mexico.
So we have that, and it's been horrible for UCLA. They opened up losing 43-10 to Utah at home. They lost to UNLV in week 2, and then they lost to New Mexico. New Mexico was like a 15-point dog. Now, here's one thing that is part of the NIL rules, and well, not NIL, the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA and Virginia Tech players can now enter the portal, according to the Field Rush. Because when a head coach gets fired,
Right?
you can leave.
Oh, wow. So they could be losing players.
Mm-hmm. And this quarterback,
Yeah.
Imaleva, I think.
Mhm.
I think it's pronounced. He went from Tennessee to UCLA because he didn't get the NIL deal from Tennessee that he wanted.
Right.
He goes to UCLA, and he's not picking up the offense at all. And the UCLA quarterback went to Tennessee, and Tennessee, even though they lost to Georgia, they're actually playing half decent right now.
They really are. I saw that game. They really, really are.
Yeah, so now anything I show on here, I do give you guys a caveat. If this is wrong, it's wrong. Because, I may pretend I know a lot, I know everything. I don't. Mike will say that I do.
Yeah, you do.
Or he may say I don't.
No, you don't.
I know another thing he says.
He's an asshole.
But it is what it is. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with these, because UCLA, remember now, UCLA is in the Big Ten now. So they got all those road trips that come east.
Yes, they do.
And Virginia Tech, they may get a couple of wins here and there, But
Aren't they in the ACC?
Virginia Tech's ACC, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
And oh, by the way, I mentioned this, and I forgot to mention it last week. Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia and NC State, two teams that are conference members of the ACC, played a non-conference football game.
How is that possible? Please tell me.
Well, the ACC has a rotation of who plays who, and you have your arch rivals that you play every year. And Virginia and NC State got together and said, well, we only play each other every 2 years or every 4 years, depending on what the rotation is. Why don't we play a non-conference game? I imagine you get it approved by the ACC,
Yes,
which
it had to be approved.
which was approved, obviously.
Okay.
You go there, and also because it's strength. They're looking more this year into strength of schedule with the college football playoffs and the 12 teams
Mm-hmm.
and the college football playoff rankings. It fits one of the criterion of playing group of 4 schools. So that's why they did it. Now, granted, neither of them are going to be close to the playoffs, I don't think.
Right.
But you don't have anybody saying, well, who did you play? Well, we played NC State or we played Virginia. Well, they're conference. Well, we played as a non-conference game because the conference set this up, and we got the approval or whatever. If they need approval, and we go from there. I'm debating here. Debating if I want to do it here. Do I or don't I? First, let me see if I can find it on here. I'm just trying to see if I can find it here or not, because there's also MLS games tomorrow night. And that's only because Inter Miami has played in so many tournaments that they're probably making up days during the week towards the end of the year to catch up with the rest of the league.
Right.
Featured. WTF, I can't fucking find it. Oh, I'm still under UEFA, that's why. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, that's not it. And this is what happens when you switch to FanDuel because you have the FanDuel. And I'm not blaming FanDuel here, so, you know, don't go to AJ saying he's bashing FanDuel even though he has the FanDuel QR code there. I'm finding everything except what I'm looking for here. English Football Cup, EFL Trophy, UEFA Champions. What the fuck? No. Champions League? No. All right, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to have a bet on this because what I was going to do is I was going to pick. Oh, wait.
You got it?
There it is. Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Oh.
Okay, so we're going to make a pick here. Well, I am. Mike's not.
Okay.
Now, the one thing is, even though I'm just trying to show something here. Because somebody has to win. So those that are wondering, well, why don't they have it that you can pick either side or pick a tie? Well, that is because I'm just looking here, nothing coming up. Okay, so let's go back just to here. So tomorrow night, part of the reason why I said that the Union would lose to Vancouver was because they would have to then go to Nashville to play this game on Tuesday. So this is a semifinal matchup. Now, if this matchup was an early round matchup where they had to go from Vancouver to Nashville, I would say win the MLS game. Who gives a shit about this?
Right.
But you know the saying from Major League 2? Or no, the first Major League. Jake Taylor in the locker room.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do.
Yes, yeah. Right, yeah.
Now, granted, you have to win this game to get to the final.
Right.
And who knows who gets the preference of hosting the final.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole theory was if the Union go to Vancouver. They're not going to give a shit about that game because it's regular season. They're still leading in the conference.
Right.
You know, you might end up having to go to San Diego for the MLS Cup final. Okay, big deal. Even though Union's still up a point on that from what I saw earlier. They can get a trophy. I mean, they do have a trophy from winning the Supporter Shield a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they also won an Eastern Conference Championship. If they win this match, they're going to play in the U.S. Open Cup final next month. And I think Nashville beat Philly earlier in the year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that here. And I'm sure Pork Chop will answer before I get to it. And by the way, the Chargers are up 10-3 on Vegas right now. And I almost called them the Clippers because the Clippers and the Chargers, I both abbreviate them as LAC.
Yep.
Soccer, tables, MLS, Union. Yeah, July 5th, Nashville won 1-0. And Nashville won in Philly March 16th, 3-1.
Oh, dang.
Now, I'm the type of person where, like, for example, if the Eagles had to play Washington the NFC Championship game and they won both times in regular season,
Mm-hmm.
fuck it, we blew them out in that second game, which we should have did. You know, we're going to blow them out again, which the Eagles did, even though it was 1-1. But we know Jalen Hurts, you know, when he got hurt, you knew if he didn't get hurt, the Eagles were going to put at least 60 on Washington that night.
Yep.
But they say, and some people say this, it's impossible to beat a team 3 times in a year. A lot of people are just going to say, oh, Nashville, fuck it. Now, this is for 90 minutes in injury time. So some people will be watching this and may say, oh, congrats on your pick. And where the Union may win this in extra time or even in penalty kicks, because they'll play, I believe it's 30 minutes of extra time and then penalty kicks, but penalty kicks do come into play. But if they go beyond 90 minutes and they're tied, then it's tie that wins or draw.
Right.
But my whole thinking since last week was Philly gives that game to Vancouver, which they did, to win this game.
Okay.
And my pick is the Union to win on tomorrow night. And that is on CBS Sports Network, 8:54, I believe, on your cable system. That's what it is on mine. And that's my pick.
Okay.
So let me do this. And I have a spreadsheet. I have a Philly fade there. I'm just putting it in my drafts here. So that is my pick. Philly 3-way line. As you know me, I love a 3-way because usually it's
2 chicks at the same time.
But okay, yeah. Pork Chop did. Yeah, and Pork Chop, who is my soccer expert, he says. And because I was looking at the FanDuel tab, that's why I didn't see it. My money's on Minnesota, but Union versus Nashville is going to be very good, and that's on CBS Sports tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And exactly what I'm saying, it's a cup semifinal. You got to go for it, especially when you've already got the playoffs locked down.
Yep.
Or let's say you're totally done shit in the regular season, and you're not getting into playoffs, or you're just hanging on by a thread. This gets you into that Champions League and all that stuff. And I was correct. 2 15-minute halves of extra time. So they play 30 minutes. You play 15 minutes. You change ends. You play another 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So he's my soccer guy. So I'm just making sure everything here. And okay, so that is going to be it for this Monday show. Mike, thank you so much. And tomorrow night, I'm going to be starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Because remember that Guillotine League fantasy football I was supposed to have last week?
Yeah.
We pushed it back a week.
Gotcha.
See, the thing is with Guillotine football, where you have X amount of teams, and you every week somebody is eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to start at week 1, and you can finish possibly even week 18.
Oh.
So every week somebody loses. So that's why because we only had 8 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the Union could win the U.S. Open Cup, the Supporter Shield, which they're number 1 right now overall, and the MLS Cup.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. And if the Philadelphia Union win the MLS Cup, is the parade on Broad Street? Or is it on 291?
It'll be on Broad Street. It'll be on Broad Street. I like that. That's a good question.
Because
I like that.
they don't play in Philadelphia, they play in Chester.
Yes.
And of course, especially people here in Philly, in the Philadelphia market,
Mm-hmm.
they say, ew, Chester? Well, you know that saying, the other side of the tracks? You go to the other side of the tracks from where the stadium is,
Yep.
you're on the other side of the tracks.
You really are.
Whereas between the river and the train tracks is not as bad. Because you have Boeing there, you have Harrah's. I'll answer that in a second. And Harrah's, and you have the soccer stadium.
Right.
At least you don't play in New Jersey. Yeah, I know. Actually, there was breaking news from the world of harness racing. Are you familiar with the Hambletonian?
You said the Hambletonian?
No, that's the Jack Mehoff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's something for Pork Chop here. If you were to hop on the train in Trenton, okay, let's say, hey Mike, let's go up to New York. I'm not driving to New York. Don't worry, I know how to do this. Okay. What you do is you park at the New Jersey Transit parking garage in Trenton. You go across the street to the train station. You take the train up to New York.
Ah.
That's what me and Stevie Wags did when we went to Yankee Stadium a couple of times.
Gotcha.
And also to Citi Field.
Citi Field. Okay.
So when you go up the New Jersey corridor line, when you get up to Newark, to the left, you can smell what the Rock is cooking. You know, the Rock, the Prudential Center.
Right.
And you look to the right, and there's Red Bull Arena.
Wow.
Now, in order to get to Red Bull Arena, you change over to the PATH train and take that a stop or two to Harrison.
Gotcha. Okay.
But But I hear if the New Jersey Devils or even the Red Bulls, if they ever win a championship, they're not going to be giving away championship shirts. They're going to be giving bulletproof vests. Because we know about Newark.
Yeah.
But so where did I get off the train at when I went to? I went to Secaucus, that's right. Because AJ and I went to that conference in North Jersey.
Yeah.
So that was in Secaucus area. So we stayed at a hotel, and one night we went over to the Badlands.
Okay.
But going back to the Hambletonian, after next year, the Hambletonian, after being at the Meadowlands for 45 years or around that time frame, they may lose the Hambletonian and they'll go to another track. The owner of the Meadowlands said part of the reason why that they did not re-up the contract with the Hambletonian was because the Hambletonian wants to allow certain trainers and drivers to ride and train the top horses.
Yeah.
I believe they're pacers. There's pacers and there's trotters, So if it's not one gate, it's the other gate, GAIT. So they want to open it up to more people. Meadowlands is saying no, and that's like part of the reason why, and they're saying that it's probably going to be either Woodbine Mohawk in Toronto, or not Toronto, but in that area.
Right.
It's either there or Hoosier Park in Indiana. So that's what Jeff Garral said. The other said today, which I read. But I read it this morning while I was in the eye doctor.
Okay.
So, I mean, that could qualify under also eligible stuff, but
it could be.
Yeah, since I try to seg from one segment to the other, but we have a tie game in LA right now, 1-1. Phillies win tonight; they're the NL East champions. If not, we just have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I know we're trying to shut things down here, but the one thing is, the Phillies could back into the division title tomorrow night by the time the game starts.
Oh, wow. Who's the Mets playing?
The Mets play San Diego in New York.
Oh.
And Phillies are on the West Coast.
So they could be drinking champagne at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, huh? Before they start the game.
No. I obviously they're not going to, but.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that would have been an interesting plane ride.
Yeah.
If they won the division.
Right. Yeah, that would have been very.
Because they were smuggling onto that. Well, also remember, it is a charter flight.
Right.
So it's not like you're going commercial.
Right.
You have your own private plane. You can do whatever you want.
You do what you want, yeah.
Yeah. Within a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm going to keep an eye on that game here tonight. Mike will have it in his car on the way home.
You got that right.
It'll be. And but yeah, that was yesterday's trivia question. The earliest divisional clinch, September 17th.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And that was also the day. That I hit that pick four at Parks that paid $20-some hundred. Because remember we went to the Turf Club, which isn't there anymore.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I said, "Hey, Mike, we got to make a pit stop."
Oh, I remember it. Yeah.
Oh, why is that? Well, they pick four at Parks for $20-some hundred.
Yes, I remember that.
And I don't have it loaded on here. Damn it. You know the sound drop I could be playing right now?
I think I do. It's in my head. No, that's not the one. No, that's not the one. Oh,
What I wanted to say to the teller, clerk, whatever you want to call her. You know what I could have said to her, right?
what?
Show me the
Oh,
money.
yeah, that's right. That's it. That is a sound drop. Yeah, but we talked about that. Yes, that is a sound drop. You got to put that on it. Yeah.
As I'm walking out, this is what the lady would have been saying about me to the person next to her.
He's an asshole.
But anyway, Mike, thanks once again.
Of course.
So 7:00 tomorrow, and you know, we may not go the full 2 hours like we are tonight because we're 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You know, no big deal. I don't have anybody coming on after me anyway. It isn't like we're actual terrestrial radio. Even though I was ranting about Pierre Ribeiro, I'll tell you about that afterwards.
Okay.
But that's it for now. Thanks everybody for joining me. Pork Chop, Mickey, Michael, and Jalen. Jalen was watching Also Eligible on Saturday. Found me on Saturday. Michael does show up on Facebook all the time too. So, but do appreciate everybody. Also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Joe Quills, because guess what? You can subscribe to the Joe Quills Show or my channel, twitch.tv/Joe Quills, and it's September this month. So guess what? You get a 25% discount. Instead of paying $7, you pay $4.50 or whatever it is. So take advantage of that, because guess what? I'm going to be doing some crazy shit. And I do have, and I'm not going to release it, but if you watched the Thursday show, or if you want to go back, towards the end of the show, I gave a hint what my game theme would be called. Because it's out of the park baseball. I'm going to be playing the Phillies until they can my ass. And you know the song that we had a couple of years ago. And I'm doing a play on words with that, with what I'm doing. So, but if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you can catch the Thursday show. And at least the video, I think, is still on there. Towards the end of the show, I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck, I got to write this down because if not, I'm going to forget it. But that's just me. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'll do it live tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And we'll have, or 7, because I'm already thinking Thursday. And Thursday, we'll have our birthday bash at 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. You will.
Time permitting.
Okay.
If we get back here in time.
Yeah. I'll get you back on tonight.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it is allegedly. Yes.
Yeah. But we're gonna have some fun here, and and go Phils. Fuck the Dodgers.
There you go.
And we'll do it live. I'll do it live tomorrow at 7. So have a great night, everybody.